I'd like to thank Jay. I'd like to thank Lydia. I would like to thank a lot of people for this first season. But this is today we're going to talk about fairy tales, and fairy tales are like the oldest. For children, they're the oldest thing. I mean, Jesus, they're the oldest things in the world. They're the oldest stories in the world. Once Upon a Time is a show that is. It's kind of difficult to say. It's not really a Disney. It's not. It has elements of the Disney stuff, but it's not a Disney product really. But it's.
But it is owned by ABC.
It's ABC.
And
yeah.
ABC is owned by Disney, correct?
Yeah, okay. I think they are.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time has characters that are from not just literature that's fairy tales, but also Dr. Frankenstein is in there.
Really?
From Dr. Jekyll. I mean, the Mad Hatter. There's all kinds of literature from Once Upon a Time. In Once Upon a Time, this is a show where people from fairy tales and old stories get stuck in our world because the evil queen, Regina, the evil queen sticks everybody because she's angry with Snow White, sticks every story character in Storybrooke. But...
See, my wife is crazy about this show, and I'm just...
Once Upon a Time, really?
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. I mean, maybe you can bring me into it.
It has a sort of. I know how you feel about it. I feel that way about a lot of things. Like when I see something like Twilight or something like Mortal Instruments. Is that the name of it? There's so many things that have like a sort of this like it seems like they're aimed at teenage girls or some kind of girly thing. And that's what, when you first look at that, because, well, you feel like they're only marketing it towards the teenagers?
Yeah.
And stuff like that?
Yeah. It's not marketed towards our generation, you know?
Yeah. I see, that's how I feel like you feel like Once Upon a Time is probably, like
that's
that to
why
you.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
exactly.
That's how I feel with a lot of stuff. But you have to break sort of a, what is it, like a barrier within yourself. You have to give stuff a chance sometimes. Actually, it's funny how I came upon Once Upon a Time. That with this show, I was miserable about something. Strangely enough, with a person that I was upset with, that I missed, that I lost. And I put this show in because I was miserable one day. And, I don't mean to, like, it's not like, I'm not trying to use a pun here or anything like that. But Once Upon a Time had some sort of magical quality. And it sort of saved me in some sort of way. And healed me in some sort of way, as if it was sort of medicine or something to me. And I think the reason for that is Once Upon a Time has it has a lot of elements and a lot of things about it. But one of the things that's important about it is about letting things go. There's a big thing about there's this big letting things go feeling sort of throughout it, where if you love something and you love it so much and it's going to hurt like hell for you to be like, screw this.
Yeah.
That show makes you feel better about it. Out of fairy tales, I think my favorite would probably be, there's something about, and I have it right here, actually. I have the Disney version of
Peter Pan.
Would you count Peter Pan? But Peter Pan actually is an element in Once Upon a Time. Yeah. So I guess Peter Pan is technically a fairy tale.
I would...
Right?
Yeah.
Would you count Peter Pan as...
I would
We
count
won't
it.
see you on camera, but we have other people. Would you count this as a fairy tale? Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Or I mean, Peter Pan. Yeah. Peter Pan is a big element in Once Upon a Time. He's a little darker. He's kind of a meaner character.
See, I like how dark it is, though. I'm all about the dark stories where it just... There's so much drama to it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I don't know why,
If-
but I do.
Right. If any of you out there have not seen Once Upon a Time and you love Peter Pan, this is definitely something that you should see because it takes the elements of this from the Disney stuff and it brings something really darker, and more evil, and more insane.
And again, like the Harry Potter episode, I talked about it getting dark so much.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what I love about it. I like a dark story. That's why I like all the Tim Burton movies.
Yes.
Like the Batman especially. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I know this isn't...
just like the darkness of it.
Yeah. I know this isn't a comic book episode, but Batman was... The Tim Burton Batmans were amazing.
Absolutely.
I sort of fell into this show sort of by accident. Let's talk about Wizard of Oz for a second.
Yes. I love Wizard of Oz. I actually have the original copy of it.
Really?
Yeah.
The VHS of it? Or
was it... What was it? 1934?
1932, I think.
32?
Was it 39?
39.
Yeah, 39, you're right.
I know it was in the 30s.
I
have the original VHS of it.
Really? Heck yeah.
There's a lot of people that think that Munchkin hung himself.
That didn't happen.
Do you remember that?
I remember. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. There's all
There
kinds
was
of
a
sort
big
of
thing going around about that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of sort of myths about it's like you can listen to Pink Floyd and you can listen to this and match it. First of all, you can literally take. Let me just pick anything that's off the shelf over here. I can take Me, Myself, and Irene, and I could put old BC Boys, Ill Communication, and put them together. They're probably going to mesh up. Yeah. It doesn't really. I don't really see that. Also, the hanging thing, that was just like a
that was a crane.
It was a crane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a crane in the background.
There was also there's a documentary of this. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a documentary of like what happened when it was filmed.
Mm.
And they said that the witch actually got third-degree burns.
Burns, yeah. She got burnt up.
From the pyro that they used in the movie.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. She got burned up from the pyrotechnic. Also, pyrotechnics. We've been drinking a lot. In the Tin Man, the makeup tests for Jack...
I can't remember his name.
But you know that he got was breaking out allergic reaction from the metal or whatever the spray, the shit that they were putting on his face.
He was like 2 days in when he started breaking out.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of really difficult stuff on that movie.
Some people say that it's cursed.
Yeah, that it's a cursed movie. You know what?
It could be cursed.
I swear to God. Okay, here's two things that I'm going to tell everybody out there that's interesting about me. Two things. One, you might know this. If you look around this room, you'll see Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Not just from Wizard of Oz, but in general, Judy Garland. I have this sort of weird thing for. I love her deeply. I love Judy. I have this connection with Judy. Yeah. So I have a lot of things of hers, and Judy. This is the truth. I'm trying not to cry talking about it, but when I watch her sing Over the Rainbow, it kills me. And when I see her cry in movies, it kills me because I love her so much. But also, another interesting thing, there's something sinister. Do you feel like that? There's something sinister about
the whole movie?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
there was so much stuff that went wrong with it. There's no way that it could be just another production.
Yeah,
there was something wrong with it.
I mean, a lot of people say it's because the witches or the flying monkeys. No, it's not just that. Yeah. It's there's something scary about every frame of it. There's something evil lingering or something above it.
Honestly, if you ask me. If I were the one in charge and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm making this movie, I'm making Wizard of Oz.
Right.
If all that stuff started happening, I would have shut it down. That's just how it is. Well, there was so much going wrong with it. There was something at play.
What
That's
was
all
that?
I can say.
What
about
was
it.
that movie? You probably don't know. There's a movie with John Wayne that they say was cursed. What was that movie where everybody
I know what
died?
you're talking about.
Everybody died of cancer. Where he played like
Yeah,
what was it?
I can't remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about.
The Conqueror. It's called The Conqueror.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they filmed in a location where apparently everybody got cancer later, and like most of those people really did die that worked in that movie, and they link it to the section where they were filming, where the production of.
I mean, it could be. There was so much testing and stuff out there in the deserts and stuff where they shot.
Yeah.
There could be tons of radiation. I'm thinking about Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
There were a couple cursed movies actually that Brandon Lee was one of them.
They do mention that a lot, that that movie was a cursed movie.
Now, what's the story behind that? There was a scene with a gun, and he actually got shot. They were supposed to put blanks in it, but they put bullets in it.
Yeah, from what I heard,
Is that the story?
was. No, I don't think it was a bullet. I think it was some sort of. What was it?
Was it an actual prop?
We have somebody else here that should. We could be asking to look this up, but like.
Use the Google machine.
Oh, you were going to talk about Twilight Zone, the Twilight Zone movie. What do you know about
Twilight
that?
Zone. I know nothing about that, honestly.
You don't know anything about that?
No.
John Landis was directing a segment in the Twilight Zone movies, and or the Twilight Zone movie. Jesus.
There was only one, right?
Yeah, there was one, and I forgot how it went, but there was a helicopter scene, and there was a little boy, and a little girl, and a guy, an actor, and they died because the helicopter came down and just decapitated all three of them.
So that was
1985, I think, or 83. I think they took John Landis to court about it and stuff, but yeah, all three actors, the little boy, the little girl, and the man, all died on set because of a mistake. Just a mistake, with the helicopter being too loud. Insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's why I worry about our movie, dude. I'm afraid somebody's
we
going to
got
die
this.
on Groove Squad. You originally, I mean, not that you hate fairy tales or anything, but it's not like your thing.
Yeah, I know very little about it. So this is going to be a learning experience for me.
Yeah, well, I know just enough about it. What is your favorite fairy tale? I mean, or favorite alt story like that? Robin Hood counts as that too, as one, as a fairy tale.
I don't know, because you think fairy tales and you think like Disney princess kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think most people do.
I mean, you got it up here, Peter Pan. Peter Pan's good. I've always liked the story.
Peter Pan's amazing. Which I will explain. I mean, I guess you could have used that footage anyway. I'm not that messed up in it, but I was talking about Peter Pan in this show. This is Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time, the reason there's so much of this up here is I had gotten into it recently, really late, because this show's been around, I think, since 2011. I think it started, and it ended last year, 2018.
Is it already over?
Yeah. Tinkerbell is in the show. Captain Hook. The Captain Hook stuff is totally amazing.
Speaking of Tinkerbell, she's like the new age Betty Boop when you think about it. Like back decades ago, like Betty Boop was huge. She was like the cartoon sex symbol.
Mm-hmm. And
I feel like Tinkerbell is that now.
You think Tinkerbell's sexy?
I think she's the new sex symbol.
Yeah, she is. She is a sex symbol. She's actually really great in the show. But yeah, I kind of agree. I would have to agree with that. She is sort of like Betty Boop. She's she's a legend now. Total legend. But Rumpelstiltskin is my favorite character, by the way. In Once Upon a Time, Rumpelstiltskin.
Crinkled foreskin.
Rumpled foreskin. Trumpelstiltskin. Funklestiltskin. You got to get funky. He turns disco into gold. He turns funk into gold. Yeah,
I like this book.
That is gorgeous, isn't it? It's Alice Wonderland. It's a Lewis Carroll.
There's going to be weird edits where we just change clothes.
Dude, there should be. Oh my God, we were in different clothes, weren't we? It's kind of hard to distinct what's a fairy tale. Like, if is Stored in the Stone a fairy tale?
I'd say so, but I don't know.
You know?
Like, how do you classify a fairy tale?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't Frankenstein be a fairy tale in a way? Just a dark fairy tale? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like the Brothers Grimm stuff.
Yes. I actually had a Brothers Grimm book that I wanted to bring out and show and stuff on here. I don't know where the hell it is, but that would have been really nice. We were in Charleston for episode, well, we were in Charleston a couple times, but episode, what was it, 4? Or 5? It was 4, I think. It was 4. Yeah. Episode 4 of the Cosplay Nerds episode. We lost a journal. And it was a journal.
About that.
It was a journal that only had a couple pages left in it, but I always wondered about the person, and this is probably not gonna. This is a far-fetched. It's far-fetched that this would even. If you, the person that found that journal in Charleston, you can keep the journal because, like, my brother scribbled stuff in it and wrote shit, and then we wrote a couple things. You can keep that journal, but if you give us proof that you have that journal, that Nerd Culture Shock journal, we will send you something. So, let us know if you have that journal. So that's why I'm not even going to tell them what it looks like, because somebody will go buy it or something at somewhere cheap.
We would know which one it is.
We know what journal it is. So if you have our Nerd Culture Shock journal, you should tell us, because that'd be awesome to know. Oh, look at my nanner turd.
Oh!
I just pooped this out! Okay. So thank you guys for everything, and thanks for joining us today. Tim, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to thank everybody for watching, sticking with us. I know there's a few of you that are just all over it, and that's awesome.
Yeah, there is.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Tip of the hat to you.
Tip of the hat. Oh, rats off to you. Hey, Jay, we'd like to thank Lydia and Jay. You two, Jay Dean, you guys are amazing. All of you guys are amazing, but those two they've really pulled for us. Those are cool people. So thank you all very much for watching this episode. And Tim, thank you for creating Nerd Culture Shock. And
thank you for helping with it.
Yeah, man, and thank you for starting a new journey with the movie and other stuff, man. It's gonna be great. It's good. Good years. Thank you all. Thank you for everything. We love you. We love you, don't we? Don't we, Tim? Thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, nerds. And we will see you on the squad. And we will see you in season 2.